Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K and B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop. Here we go. Rock it up high, rock it down low. Welcome to the Sexy Ninja Cast. Dropping every Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, the Sexy Ninja Cast brought to you by the one and only K&B, the Sexy Ninja. What up, y'all? K&B, the Sexy Ninja for C Plus Studios, and welcome to the Sexy Ninja Cast. Before we go on, I gotta tell you, this is powered. This is fueled. This is ignited by crazyhoodiez.com with a Z. Crazyhoodiez.com with a Z. Designs all created by the one and only Big Daddy. He also has a fabulous podcast called Big Daddy Forever. Go check it out. Highly recommended. And if you're subscribed to the C Plus Studios feed anywhere and everywhere, you get podcasts, you get that podcast, you get this podcast, the Sexy Ninja Cast, you get the New World podcast, you get that Crazy That Juggalo vlog, you get so much on the C Plus Studios feed. It is awesome. So much great content and different perspectives and views on things, reviews. So go check it out. You gotta subscribe. Subscribe, share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. Let them know that C Plus Studios is here. Also, if you want to get yourself some C Plus Studios merch, hit up our TeePublic store. All designs created by me and Big Daddy. If you want to show some love, all types of great product over there. Just go to that TeePublic. If you want to check out the more visual stuff, go check out our YouTube channel, 1.5K videos. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on everything and anything until you get tired of us. This week, we're going to talk about comic books, the world of comic books, because I get asked quite a bit, because people know that I'm an avid comic book reader. I go to the comic book shop every week here at Cab Comics in Flagstaff, Arizona. And I'm constantly reading, and I get asked, this is the question I got asked, and I was like, ooh, that would make a fun podcast. The first question was, how did you get into comic books? What drove you down this road? And I thought about it, and I was like, oh man, it was the first ever comic book I ever owned. I still have it. It's torn to bits. Was Nova. #1 from the 90s, and it had a little bit of a hardcover and stuff like that. And I just remember being like, what's this? I found out at the flea market, in my hometown, Shiprock, New Mexico. And it was just intriguing, man. It just, I didn't keep up with Nova. Nova wasn't like the person that I wanted to keep up with, but it's all about what you like, and Nova was an introduction to this world of comic book reading and stuff like that. It was like, oh, okay. Pictures, words. I don't have to actually read a book. Those weren't my motivations. I was very I'm a very sucker for art. This is why I love variant covers so much. I'd be like, oh, is that a Jim Lee? Oh yeah, oh baby, I'm giving that book right now, and that's why I have a problem and I have duplicates. The second question was, as someone new to comic books, where should I start? And I was like, oh man, that's a great question, because the world is so huge right now. I mostly read Marvel and DC. I dab a little in other things, I would say the most recent thing I dabbled into is The Last Ronin and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we have interviewed Kevin Eastman. So that we talked about that book a little bit too on that interview. And it's such a great story. The trade paperback is out now. I would say if you're going to get into this crazy world of comic books, think about what you like. Think about what kind of world you want to dive into, because there's so many comic books. It's not just superheroes. There's so many avenues in the comic book world that's not superhero related. Like, if you don't want a superhero thing, you don't have to do a superhero thing, because there's a comic book out there for you. My highest recommendation is Comixology. Download that. It's through Amazon. and they have everything and anything you could possibly find. I would recommend, if you want to go down the Marvel route, download the app. The subscription is $10 a month. So much in that, well, you can go to. You can actually be like, oh, I like this superhero. I like this superhero. I want to read more about that. Or you can do the same thing with DC and their app as well. They have a huge library. But if you're like, yeah, I don't feel those two, Comixology. It's fantastic. Like I said, you can get Godzilla, you can get comic books about wrestling, you can get comic books about Elvis if you wanted to. Whatever floats your boat, I would say Comixology is the place to go. Hey, Comixology, Amazon, that was a nice plug, so you better pay up. I'm just talking about some sponsorship here, folks, but no, seriously, Comixology, it's a keeper because it's not crazy expensive. You can also buy. They have an unlimited resource of books. They also have books you can buy. And if you're like, I want more physical. Okay, so graphic novels. If you want a story that's wrapped up all in one, graphic novels. Also do a little research, jumping on points, because there's always jumping on points with comic books. They either a new writer's taking over, like for example, Chip Zdarsky just took over the Batman main comic book, and it was a jumping on point for people, and it was like issue 1 something, and there's just moments, and there's always a number 1 issue coming out for something like the new Daredevil started, because there's constant books out there just coming out. So just do your research, go to your local comic book shop. That's the one big thing. Walk around, look at everything, look what's on the new wall, because comic books are used to be every Wednesday, but DC changed their days to Tuesday, and Marvel is still Wednesday. But I still get my books on Wednesdays. It's a tradition to get your comic books on a Wednesday, because that's when they usually are supposed to be coming out. Kind of like back in the day when movies used to come out on a Tuesday, or no, music came out on Tuesday and not a Friday and stuff like that. But yeah, go to your local comic book shop, support the local business, because I love going to Cab Comics sometimes too, not even just to buy anything, just to go look around. It's a cool little environment, and sometimes I call it my church, because it is. These are the worlds I like to dive into and go into my little bubble and not look at anything, just like Star Wars or anything like that. And if you're really into Star Wars, there is Star Wars comic books out there. They just started this Han Solo series and Obi-Wan series. The Darth Vader series right now is rocking it, man, by Charles Soule. You got to check that out as well, because there's so many great writers too. And also too, that's the thing, is like finding a writer that you connect with. And for me, my favorite hero is Green Lantern. People are like, what? Not Batman? Of course Batman. But Green Lantern is one of the characters of many from Sector 2814 that I connected with. But the one I connected with the most is Kyle Rayner. My boy gets no love. Well, he did in that recent issue of Dark Crisis that's going on right now. But he is somebody that I really connected with because he was very different. And they always say the term controversial. He had his girlfriend stuffed in the fridge. And if you're like, whoa, what happened there? I'm like, go check it out. And there's Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner. They have Simon Boz, Jessica Cruz. They have the Kid Lantern. There's so many Green Lanterns out there. Maybe there's one out there for you. But for me, I would say a good jumping on point would be Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Rebirth, where he brings back Hal Jordan. Man, it's such a fun story, a fun ride. You connect with it really quick and really fast, because Jeff Johns is one of my favorite writers. Somebody that I would actually really, really like to meet. And also too, another person that I would really like to meet is one of the creators of Kyle Rayner, and that's Ron Mars. So whatever you feel like floats your boat, go check it out, and just dive right on in, and just let you know it does get expensive. But it makes me happy, it makes me fall, it makes my little world, because I can look, and I'm looking around right now, and it's like I'm surrounded by all this stuff. I got this crazy Green Lantern Jessica Cruz pop that's just phenomenal, and right on the bottom a Roman Reigns pop, and I got this big old Batman looking at me. I got a Godzilla On my left side, he holds my headphones for me. Star Wars posters, Green Lantern figures everywhere, Batman, Superman, The Dark Knight. Create your world, or safe space or whatever you want to call it. And just dive right on in, man. One graphic novel I could recommend that I always recommend to a lot of people who are like, oh, where do I start? I'm like, do you like Marvel? They're like, oh, I love Marvel. Read the first Civil War. I know you saw the movie, Captain America Civil War, but go read Frank Miller's Civil War. You will thank me, because you'll be like, holy shit, that was intense, and that was nothing like we got in the movie. So, or unless you want some X-Men, get some Chris Claremont in your life and check out the Dark Phoenix saga and actually read a good story and not the movie we got. The 2 attempts we tried to get to adapt this story. And people are like, well, what's your current reading pile look like? The current pile is Han Solo and Chewbacca #4, which has been fun. DC versus Vampires, All Out War. DC Universe going to war with vampires. It's fun right now. They have 2 issues out that collect issues 1 through 3 and 4 through 6 right now, so people can catch up, and they have some great covers for those. Tom Taylor's Nightwing, number 94. Oh, Tom Taylor's Nightwing run has been so much fun. It's a blast. World's Finest, Batman Superman #5. That has been fun. Darth Vader, right now, they just had a showdown with Crimson Dawn. So, and now Crimson Reign and stuff like that was going on. Avengers number 58. And this week, Judgment Day, Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. That, and the art alone on that cover is fantastic. Star Wars number 25, Charles Soule's current run right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Armageddon game. I love me some good Ninja Turtles. Fantastic Four 45, Dan Slott's run, just about to be done, I believe, with 46. That's been fun, especially with the Reckoning War and stuff like that. Wolverine number 23. God, I love me some good X-Men. You can't go wrong with some good X-Men. The Jurassic League. The Justice League is dinosaurs, and then Joker's a dinosaur, and it's silly, but it's a fun, weird experience, especially just being like, oh, they're dinosaurs, but that's Batman as a T-Rex. Blood Syndicate, yes, Milestone. You want a world to dive in, you should dive into that Milestone. Black Adam number 2. This is the first issue was a trip, because I was like, wait, what's going so they're only on number 2. It's 2 of 12, so if you want to go to your local comic book shop, pick up that number 1. Artemis Wanted. This was the end of the Amazon trials that just went on in Wonder Woman. That got insane, especially towards the end, and this one shot right here, I can't wait to see what happens with Artemis and stuff like that. And the big thing going on right now that I'm fully invested in is the current event called Dark Crisis. They just announced it's called Dark Crisis of Infinite Earths. The Crisis series is huge. They got Final Crisis, Identity Crisis, Dark Crisis right now, Crisis on Infinity Earths and stuff like that. You want to just dive right on into that whole Crisis stuff. And in Final Crisis, if you want to see Batman die, which my daughter loves reading because she's like, Batman's dead, because she doesn't like Batman. But the current run right now is Dark Crisis, and they just announced that it's actually a sequel. So can't wait to jump in. And this one I got right now is number 2, but it's Young Justice and the Wrath of Wonder Girl. Another Michael Bendis fun run right here, Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes. It's taking forever though to come out. I believe I started this series several months ago, and we're barely on issue 4 of 6. And The Flash right now, Dark Crisis tie-in 784. So now they're like in different worlds right now, trying to find Barry Allen, because Barry Allen is lost amongst these infinite Earths, and right now currently the Justice League is dead. So that's what Dark Crisis is going on. The last issue, Dark Crisis number 2, ended with my boy Kyle Rayner showing up and the Green Lantern Corps being like, let's do this. We got to figure out what's going on. The Justice League is dead. The heroes of Earth are trying to get themselves together. Deathstroke is causing all this mayhem, and he blew up to Teen Titans building and stuff like that and shot Beast Boy right in the head. Yeah. If all that's intriguing to you, what I'm saying right now, go to your local comic book shop and be like, give me Dark Crisis now. And all the good tie-ins. Last but not least, number 7, Batman the Knight. It's an origin story. You're probably like, yeah, his parents got shot and he went off into the underworld, and he, like, why do we need another origin story of Batman? This one is by Chip Zdarsky, somebody who just took over the current Batman run. And Chip Zdarsky has a book with Marvel as well called Daredevil. You know that guy? Daredevil? Huh? Yeah. He has that. And if you want, go just look up Chip Zdarsky. He is rocking right now in the game. And one of my favorite ones is Devil's Reign. That just happened. With Daredevil and stuff like that, and the heroes of New York City, and Kingpin becoming the mayor and stuff like that. It's a fun ride. But I would say out of all these books, what I'm really excited for is the Dark Crisis tie-ins, like this Young Justice number 2 and the Flash 784. For their world to live, they must find the Flash. So it was on the Flash, though, to reset everything, which is kind of unfair to Barry or any Flash in particular. But right there, that's what I'm currently reading. There's a lot more around here. I'm surrounded by comic book boxes, so just find what you like and just go with it. Even if you're not even a huge, like I said, a superhero fan or anything like that, even if you're like, oh man, that show Firefly, one of my favorite movies, Serenity, I wish I could dive more into that world. Well, guess what? There's comic books out there, and there's a new current Firefly run right now. I believe they're on issue 25 or something like that. Yeah, and they also have the new generation of Firefly. That just came out too. That was a limited run where you're gonna be like, hey, I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's comic books for that too. There's supernatural comic books. There's Stranger Things comic books. The world of comics is so expanded out. It is beautiful. So whatever you're into, go check it out right now. And like I said, support your local comic book shop, which is very important. This is a short one, but good one for the Sexy Ninja Cast this week that drops every Sunday. That is powered by crazyhoodies.com. Show some love to Big Daddy and Big Daddy Forever. Subscribe to C Plus Studios on anywhere and everywhere you get podcast. Go subscribe, share with everybody, share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. Let them know that C Plus Studios is here. And if you want to check out our YouTube channel, we also have Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything until you get sick of us. And I don't mean you're going to get sick of us, but we're just going to entertain you as best as we can, So I hope you enjoyed this week's Sexy Ninja Cast. If you have questions for me, send them to cplusstudios928@gmail.com. Or if you don't have questions for me, you're like, man, fuck K&B, I want to talk to Big Daddy. cplusstudios928@gmail.com. Send your questions in. If you want to ask us something about my world or his world or anything like that, send us a message. All right? cplusstudios928@gmail.com. All right, y'all. That's the Sexy Ninja Cast this week. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you dive into this crazy world of comic books. And I know this weekend is San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm seeing a lot of great cosplays. A lot of great news is coming out. We shall see what this weekend brings us to the Nerdverse. All right, y'all. I'm out. Stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the wicked shit.